The Cobblemon Mod adds 2 crops, 6 mints and 69 berries to the game. And today we will be creating a greenhouse with an automatic farm for each and every one of those. But before we can do that, we need to do some preparations. Alright, the first thing we have to do is load in our schematic. Let's see, it's the greenhouse. Bam! And it's loading in. Now we can position it, and it's a big build, so we like to put it a little bit further away actually. Alright, something like this should be good. And I'm not gonna show you guys what it looks like. We're gonna not be holding it, and we will place our schematic cannon right here and put it in there. Now if we place this book right here, we will get a material checklist with all the materials we need. And it's quite a bit. It is quite a bit. But luckily I can do a little bit of a resource gathering stream, so we will have all the materials in the next shot. Okay, here I thought I would just simply do this in one stream, but oh boy was I wrong. The last clip you saw was recorded 3 days ago. This took a long time. And not just because I had to gather up a bunch of resources. No, this was the easy part. The difficult part was in gathering all the berries from the Cobblemon mod. But after 3 days of hard work and cross plantations, we finally managed to do it. We have all 69 berries in our possession. Some more than others, but we can work with this. We can work with this and we can start making an automatic farm for this. However, before we can start making farms, I think we should start by making up a greenhouse. So let's do that. And after an hour of letting this schematic cannon do its job, we finally have a great view of our greenhouse. Now, there are still some things that we have to do to make this build a little bit better. Mainly, I just realized that the schematic cannon doesn't really like me using glowberries that much. They're also called cave vines in here, apparently. We will take the berries, and what will happen if I... Oh, this might break them all, but... Oh, that works. We can just wait for them to grow and then place them. Yeah, this is a weird glitch. I've never seen this before. It does make this look very interesting, though. With all the floating vines up there. We're gonna ignore that for now. We will pluck these. Oh, they are called cave vines. Okay, that's weird. Never seen that before. Thought they were just called glowberries, but sure, we'll leave it at that. But yeah, this is the build. I am really proud of this. The original idea was to take some inspiration from the greenhouse Impulse SV made in his Hermitcraft series. However, I tweaked a lot of stuff and eventually we came to this design, which is very different. And I want to check something because yes. Okay. Give me a moment. I have to wait till it's dark. And while we're waiting for nighttime to arrive, we can try and catch a few Pokemon. Well, before we do that, I have to show you guys something. Because like I said, I've been, well, working for 3 days on gathering all the berries in the game. And by doing that, I came... Oops, that doesn't go there. And by doing that, I came across a bunch of different wild Pokemon. Some of which were shiny Pokemon. And, well... take a look at this. Since the last episode, I caught a shiny Tailo, a shiny Metapod, a shiny Sentret, a shiny Zigzagoon, a shiny Whimsicott, Torkoal, Houndour, Mareep, Mudbray, and Diglett. I don't think I'm gonna give daily shiny updates anymore because we are finding a lot of them. So I'll just keep catching them and then every once in a while I'll show you guys the progress I make on my shinies. Alright, and this is what the build looks like during nighttime. Now normally there would be way more vines right there, so there would be a lot of lights in there. However, we also wanted to make it feel like there were some fireflies here. Now, we are not in the version of Minecraft yet in which we have fireflies, so we had to get a little bit creative. So what I did is, oh, you could have seen it there. You could have seen it there. What I did is hide some candles behind the leaves. So sometimes it's a little bit of an Easter egg. When you're walking by, you can see a glimpse of the fireflies in the bushes. And I've hidden a few of them around. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this build. I do have to give a little bit of a shout out though to the community members that were in stream chat the day we designed this. I was really struggling to make this design work, and with the help of Misfit, Peggy, Julio, and Glitches, we managed to really get this working. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Alright, our next step would be to design a farm for these berries, and to do that I have created a little bit of a creative test world. And with a little bit of a setup right here. Now, farming the berries isn't as easy as one would think, because my first instinct was to just plant the berry, wait for it to grow up, and then let the harvesters do their work. But apparently, they break it, and they don't even give the berry back. So this wouldn't work, because yeah, we wouldn't get any berries from this. Now, I started thinking, what could we do instead of this? And I was thinking about how we normally get the berries, and we do that by just right-clicking the berry plant. Now, it would be great if there was just a machine that would simulate right-clicks. And apparently, there is. This is the deployer. And you can use this to simulate right-clicks or even left-clicks if you wanted to. You can also simulate right clicks, as you can see by it pressing this button right here. Now, if we were to do that with our little berry here, we could, whoops, we could wait for the berry to grow and then let the deployer do its job, and then we can fetch it from the deployer. Actually, it would be best if we had this setup with deployers, and well, we have made that right here. This is the setup we're going for. We can grow these berries. Oops. Oh, we actually did some transmutation there. Okay. We can grow these berries, and once grown, whenever the contraption goes over it, they will be plucked. And I was worrying that it maybe wouldn't reach the lower ones, the small plants, but I tested it with the smallest one I could find, and it still works. And they're right here in the barrel. This is the setup we're going for. However, we need to make deployers, and that is troublesome on its own. Now, you might be wondering why it would be difficult to get ourselves a deployer. Well, that is because it needs a whole new different material that we haven't seen yet. We need this brass hand and we need the electron tube, which in itself is not the easiest to make. However, we're going to be focusing on the brass hand first. The brass hand needs, well, brass sheets made from brass. And we can make that by mixing copper and zinc. Now, that on its own wouldn't be so difficult. As you can see, I have zinc and copper in here already. This should make brass, right? Well, it isn't mixing, and that is because we need to heat it. As you can see, we need to heat it with a blaze burner. Now, how do we get a blaze burner? We take an empty blaze burner and fill it with an actual blaze. So we need to take these empty blaze burners to the nether and fill them up with a blaze. Alright, we're in the nether and the shaders make it look really cool. However, also really dark. Like I can't see anything. So we're gonna turn them off, and well, that isn't much better. However, we need a fortress to get our blazes together, and I can look at the minimap, and I do see one. I do see one. Okay, yeah, let's set a temporary waypoint here, and also let's set a permanent waypoint here for the portal. Alright. Okay, I've got a journey to make. Alright. And it was actually... Ooh! Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Oh my god. My heart sunk. Okay. It was actually way closer than I thought. It was only a few hundred blocks. I thought it looked way further on the map. There is a blaze spawner over there. We can go that way. We kind of have to, right? Pretty peaceful so far. I don't mind it. When we get there, well, I can actually show you guys something. Look, hello, cute little blaze. I'll snatch you with me. Yep, we can just pick them up from the ground. It's pretty easy. You know what's even better? We can just right click the spawner. Let's get out of here. Yeah, we're not even enchanted and stuff, so I'm not gonna risk it by being here. I'm just gonna take all these blaze burners with me back home. Oh, there is a chest here though. Oh, take it with me. Okay, I'm out of here. Oh, well, it has been like 5 minutes, so yeah, of course we find a shiny. Hey, we got it. We got it. That's amazing. Well, we have to get down somehow. Oh, that was a close call. Yeah, we really should invest in some feather falling sooner rather than later. Alright, with our blaze burners gathered, we can change this up a little bit. Because we're gonna place... yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We're gonna place our blaze burner right here. Oh, look at him. He's cute. The shaders look very good on him. And then we place this stair right here because we need to be able to access this. Because you can see it's still not doing anything. Why not? Well, because we need to power him. And now, after all this effort, we can make brass. So let's throw in quite a bit of zinc and copper and let the machine do its work. And we put these little dudes right here with the other create stuff. Amazing. After the mechanical mixer was done creating the brass, I put them under the mechanical press so we have some brass sheets. And we can combine that with our andesite alloys to make ourselves brass hands. We have 8 of them, so we're going to be aiming for 8 deployers, and I think that will be enough for our berry farm. However, we also need some more stuff for this, and the thing we're missing is quartz, so guess somebody's got to go back to the nether again. Alright, we've gathered all the quartz we need, and even a little bit more, and now we can make some rose quartz. We can make 8. There we go. And we need this to make the electron tubes right here. We need to do something special with it because we need to polish it. And we need sand for that, and I don't even have a single piece of sand. Come on, dude. After we acquire some sand, we can combine the sand with paper to make, you guessed it, some sandpaper. And now we put the rose quartz in our offhand and we start sanding it down. We need 8 of them, so this is perfect because we can sand down exactly 8 with the sandpaper. Alright, polished quartz acquired, and now we get some more iron plates. Combine those to make electron tubes. And now we have brass hands, electron tubes. The only thing we need is andesite casings. We got 7 right here, we need 1 more. And now, combine it all to make deployers. And that's also what we need to finish. Oh, no, nope, nope. Wrong way. Dude, what the hell? There we go. To finish off our little setup right here. So now we've acquired the deployers. I think it's time to make a farm right over there. I was preparing the farm and I heard shiny sparkles. Is it up on the building? Where is it? I see it on my map. Oh, it is right there. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Hi, little dude. You chose a good place to spawn. Welcome on in, welcome on in. Let's see. We are getting our nut balls and bloop. Easiest catch of my life. Whoops. So yeah, with that shiny being caught, I was preparing this little area here for being our farm area. Instead of making 1 large one, I think I'm gonna make 2 smaller ones. So let's say 2 of 4. So then this would be like the middle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we put 1 here. And we will put 1 here. And that way we have 2 areas in which we can plant berries. So 2 smaller ones, still big enough for all the berries to grow in. I mean, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. It's literally every 5 minutes. Well, I'll take it, I guess. Like, I'm not complaining, but they should be rare. They should be rare. My shiny luck is insane lately. Alright, but with that Mareep caught, I am going to build these farms, and they're pretty simple. They're pretty simple, and they're basically very similar to the ones we've already seen before. So we can just place water here, put our water wheel in there, and get our mechanical bearing in with, whoops, with a slab, so we can actually access it. Maybe also put it the right side up. Now if we place a block on this, we can let it rotate. Amazing. And now we just do our stuff. Alright, it's set up. Now we glue it all together. And we should have a working farm. Well, if we place in the berries, of course. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Alright, Alright, and with all the berries added to the farms, we can say we've completed our goal of farming every berry in the game. Now, of course, there isn't any yield yet, but that will change as soon as these berry trees grow up. Now, we had one more goal for this episode, and that is to farm all the other crops that Cobblemon brings into the game. And those are the Revival Herb, the Medicinal Leek, and all the mints. And one that I forgot in the intro, the Vivichoke. We need to plant these as well and make the same sort of farm as we have for the other stuff. But since the process of making these is the exact same as we did in the food farm in the last episode. Oh, hello Ladybug. I've just decided to build them and show you guys the results. Yeah, they're doing pretty well. Once they get some crops in, we can finish filling them all in. We don't have more than this, unfortunately, so we just have to wait for it. In the meantime, our berries started growing as well. No results yet, but we will get there eventually. And then the last thing I want to do this episode is make ourselves a pasture block and put it right here. Let's see. Right there is good. And this is an idea that I saw on Sebediah's channel. He's also a Cobblemon creator, and he also made a greenhouse, and he decided that that would be... Hold up, 1 second. So where was I? Sebediah also made a greenhouse, and he decided that that would be a good place for some of his Shinies to reside. And I thought that was a really good idea, so I am gonna do the same. So what would be cool Shinies to put in here? I think for sure the Scatterbug that was actually spawned in this this area. We can also add in the Mareep and the Flaffy that we found around here. I think the Miltank will be a good addition. The Talo, and let's put the Houndour in as well. And in this area, our Shinies can watch the crops and make sure everything is going all right here. And bonus effect is that there will be constant, like, glimmering in this area. They will sometimes be taken with the machines, though. Oh my goodness, this Houndour is actually really good. He got 3 perfect stats and a 30. Oh my goodness. But that is where I'm gonna end this episode. We have made a lot of progress in this world. We made this entire greenhouse today, and we managed to actually fill it with some useful farms. However, I really have to go because I'm going on a trip to Portugal this weekend, and I have to make some preparations. So that's also the reason why there will be no episode next week. We will be back though 1 week after that with another episode of the Cobblemon X Create. I really poured everything into this episode, so if you guys liked it, please be sure to leave a like. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Alright. Bye-bye.